You can bet your bottom dollar. Great programming coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Stand by. Hold on. Talk at its finest, coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 2 minutes, stand by. We know what guys are talking about. Stand by. A great show coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 30 seconds. Stand by. Don't go away. Stop. If they're talking about it at the barbershop, we're talking about it here on SME. Great show coming up in about 30 seconds. Don't go away. Stand by. It's time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Another great product on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yeah!
It should go just like we talk normally. Right. That's the idea. You ain't trying to, pretend like, we ain't trying to, because we can curse. We can do the, what I'm saying? We say the hell we want.
Good afternoon, y'all. You're listening to the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. He's Maestro Styles. I'm Trey, Fraser.
Yep.
We're here in the house right now. Don't forget to hit us up on the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast Facebook page, as well as the Instagram page at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Maestro's on the Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And if you got any questions, any comments, you want to hit us up through the email address is barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So, Maestro, what's good, man?
Coolin', man. Never dead, never dime. I know we did our Mother's Day tribute last episode, but as we recording on a special Sunday today, it's on Mother's Day. Trey hit me with the word we need to record early. I'm scrambling, trying to get my barbecue on real quick, trying to grab as much seafood salad as I can before I roll out. And, we do what we got to do to get y'all the content, man. But happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there once again.
Yeah, word up. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, even the baby mamas and
the baby's mamas.
Baby's mamas. Everybody, happy Mother's Day. Hope you had a great day. Now, let's kind of get to some business here, man.
All right, well, before we get into business, John, I got a few things, a few pressing issues. I just heard Kevin Durant's mother got a Lifetime movie deal.
That's funny. My wife Debbie told me she just watched that movie last night on TV.
Shouts out to Miss Durant. Especially, I'm not gonna rag on a mother on Mother's Day. Did you watch? You didn't see it. What was it about?
I didn't see it.
How did this? I'm trying to figure out.
So the way my wife was explaining it to me was this movie centers around just his mother and how she raised him up to be the guy that he is today. And that's all I really kind of got from what she was saying. Now, I didn't see the movie.
Right.
I don't even know what the name of the movie is.
Right.
And I asked her, and she kind of forgot. So I'm kind of up in the air about it. I didn't even know this was coming out. I didn't even know this was in the works.
Yeah, I saw it off the Humble, so I didn't even know it had aired already. So
yeah, it aired.
Yeah,
she
told
me she saw it last night.
Well, like I said, shouts out to Ms. Durant. Happy Mother's Day. Get your money, boo-boo. Africa Bambaataa has been removed from the Zulu Nation.
Why?
Enough. You ain't heard about this?
I didn't know.
3 people have come out and said he has sexually abused them.
Are you serious?
Men.
Men have sexually abused?
No. Africa Bambaataa has sexually abused men.
Wow. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. So, Africa Bambaataa has been kicked out of Zulu Nation.
Zulu Nation was like, yo, we
can't fuck with that.
Wow.
But, alright, because nothing's, as far as I'm read, nothing's been proved yet. Mm-hmm. You don't think it should be some kind of, innocent to proving guilty type of sentiment, or?
Well, when you say
it's the Zulu Nation, man. You gotta kind of, you would think they would.
You've been sticking with them for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I get that part of it, but when you bring the story up, it kind of reminds me of, and I'm kind of related to sports a bit here.
Sure.
It reminds me of Aaron Hernandez and the New England Patriots. If you remember what happened in that whole situation, obviously he killed somebody out in the woodshed someplace, and then his girl and his kid was at the house, and then word kept going back and forth that, Aaron Hernandez had something to do with this shooting.
Right.
So what did Bob Kraft and Bill Belichick do? They basically said, we gonna get rid of you. Yeah. Whether you guilty, whether you in a court of law, or whether you gotta wait to be convicted, we not gonna wait for you to be innocent. We gonna get rid of you right now. So
I think it's a little. I hear you. I would just think, I don't know.
And I know the comparison is maybe a little bit off.
Because that's corporate, and not Zulu Nation is kind of the idea of it is kind of more built on culture, and we stand by each other, and you would at least you would think. But shouts out to them. And my last little off the rip little, your boy R.Kelly. Now, if y'all didn't know, your boy R.Kelly got clowned on Twitter around the time, the same night he was watching Kobe's last game, and he watched it on his. He took a picture of it, him watching the game on what seemed to be a 1-bedroom apartment and a 30-inch TV. You know what I'm saying? So they was clowning him on Twitter for a little minute. I guess this was his next available show, and he made very sure that let the crowd know that he was offended. He had people. He had he sat down a brown leather couch in the middle of his show, started watching clips of the Kobe game, and started watching Life, the Eddie Murphy Martin Lawrence movie, in the middle of his concert.
And the fans are supposed to care.
They was right, but I don't know if you ever been to an R. Kelly show, but he be just showing out. He had the Bama had like at the same show had like a drone type thing flying around the building called an R-Bot that he would be talking to, and look, like he be doing little crazy shit. Like he the type of nigga that like he'd be in the middle of singing and just do some outlandish shit.
Right. Like I know particularly for the ladies, especially the ladies get the front row sections of these concert halls, and R. Kelly I know likes to do a lot of stuff to bring the girls up to the stage and give them lap dances and all that stuff. So I hear where you're coming from with that.
But, I guess as you've been doing the same, you can't do the same lap dances and all that shit for the amount of time that he's been in the game.
Right.
So I
What's
guess,
he going on, 50 now, right?
So I guess it's evolved to watching the Kobe in the middle of your concert and having drones in your show. So
Kelly's a clown.
Shouts out to Art. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. He did what he did back in the day.
And you showed me that picture right before we got on, and I'm looking at the size of the TV, and I'm like, this dude is in a doctor's office waiting to be served or something, because it looked exactly like he was in a doctor's lobby's office. So like you said, he had maybe a 2-bedroom condo or an efficiency or something. And he had this like 12-inch TV, and you know fans is clowning him for it. Like, dude, you R.Kelly. Like, you supposed to have like a 100-inch TV. Like, what you doing with that, man?
Shouts out to R.Kelly, man.
Times might be hard too, man. You never know. Maybe that's why he did the concert. Trying to get money, man.
I don't know. No, I don't think he's short of money, but I don't know. But shouts out to the buffet. If you ain't heard R. Kelly's Buffet album, get that on the list.
That reminds me. I just got to bring this
thing up.
Speaking of R. Kelly, a couple months ago, he did an interview with Huffington Post.
Oh, when he walked out?
Yeah. And the girl was trying to, ask him questions and stuff.
I was gonna call that bitch, and I don't know you. But the chick, she was a little funny.
Yeah, there were moments where she was trying to get at him.
Go straight in on him,
talking about the whole sex tape and all that.
What the hell made you think he want to talk about that?
Right.
Whatever interview have you seen where R. Kelly talks about the sex tape? Why would you?
Especially in 2016.
Wow, I ain't never. And please, somebody tell me if you've ever seen R. Kelly talk about the sex tape. I'm sure people try to ask, and he'd just be like he did. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this. But she kept going in like she was about to.
There were moments where she was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get it out of this."
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
And he just was like,
I'd have walked out on that chick too.
And he walked out, man. But
I'd have walked out on her ass too.
There was an interview, maybe right around the Chocolate Factory album came out, 2003, where he was addressing some stuff on BET. He didn't deflect it necessarily, but he also tried to play the game of, we'll figure that out and let it,
Right, but I'm also talking about an aftermath. Because at this point, he's been vilified. He's,
sure.
Dave Chappelle did his skit. Like, he's been vilified, and
Exactly. People just kind of let it.
Yeah, like
kind of let it go.
Lost your mind.
But kind of let it go.
She was trying to get a story, but you got to understand. How many times you got to say, "Nah, I'm not trying."
Right.
I'm not trying to talk about. I don't want to talk about her little bughead ass too. Shouts out to my Capitals. I mean, I still think it's over for us. But we won yesterday. We're trailing 3-2 against the Penguins.
So y'all going back to Pittsburgh for Game 6,
right?
Well, look, here's what I gotta say. Shout out to my friend Sean up at the shop, where we work at. I still think the Capitals got a chance, man. I mean, these are the types
me and you the ones, we both said that if they lost that game 4,
that they had no shot. I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But when I look at, and I'm starting to learn things about hockey and, calls and all that stuff, I'm starting to learn a few things. It is very easy to come back from 3-1 in a hockey series.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rangers did it 2 years in a row against the Caps and the Penguins.
Yeah.
And, you look at other series, guys are coming back and forcing Game 7s after they down 3-1. So It's very easy in the sport of hockey to overcome a deficit like that. I'm going to give the Capitals a shot, man. I peeped out a little bit of the game last night, and it looked like they were getting back to what they've been known to do over the course of the season. Man, if they could continue to do that, go in Pittsburgh, get Game 6, and just force a Game 7 and just, see what happens.
Well, I hope so, man. Shout out to the Caps. Ovechkin played well for what I did see. I did watch a little bit of it. He looks good.
These are the types of things that build character. I mean, I know for fans it's not easy, but for players in whatever sport you play, these are the types of moments that build character, toughens you up, makes you stronger from not just a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint as well.
Yeah, but it's irritating because they've been a championship caliber team, or at least pegged as one for a little while.
7 years now.
Yeah, it's been a little while now. So it's a little frustrating that we're still talking about hunger pains
and talking about not even getting to the conference final.
Yeah, right.
That's the hump that they haven't been able to get over, is getting out of the second round.
Yeah, so
you know
forgive
what?
us if we don't necessarily want to hear about growing pains.
You know
7
what?
years from being a contender.
I know I said if they lost Game 4, they're done, but I'm like, you know what? This is hockey. These things turn around as quickly as it does in the NBA. I'm gonna give the Caps a shot. If they can force Game 7, let's just see what happens.
Yeah,
or maybe they force a Game 7 and then they stink it up. Who knows? Maybe just to kind of draw you guys back in. Maybe that's some of the Caps fans' fear is. You know what? They're done, and then you're gonna try to suck me back in with winning Game 5 and Game 6, force a Game 7, and then blow it.
Well,
we'll see what happens. We'll
you heard about your boy Bradford?
Sam Bradford. What, he now wants to kind of play nice now?
Nah, it's going around that he's going to retire if he don't get traded.
He's going to retire? Good riddance. Goodbye.
That's what's being rumored, that he going to retire.
You go. You garbage anyway.
Yeah, right,
Come
right.
on, man. I ain't got time for that, man. He's acting like a crybaby right now. But he don't know how good he got it. $100 million that you've made over your career, and you crying about the Eagles wanting to, trade to get the number 2 pick. You crying about that? Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Look, go play, start in training camp, beat the starter, get the starting position.
Beat Carson Wentz.
Because
he's the starter.
Yeah,
what's his name? Bradford,
look, if things go the way they're supposed to, Bradford is going to start week 1.
Right.
So, Bradford, win 10, 11 games for the Eagles. Take them to the postseason. Whether you win a game or not, if you win 10, 11 games for them, you're going to add value to your brand.
Right.
They'll trade you after that, and you can start elsewhere.
Right.
There's plenty of teams that's looking for a starting quarterback.
You ain't really a starting quarterback.
If he does that, if he can put the Eagles on his back, per se, win them some games, he'll add value, and the Eagles will recognize that, and they'll be like, okay, now we can trade this guy elsewhere. We can get some more picks and build this team up. So, Bradford, stop crying, man.
Your boy Canelo Alvarez beat Amir Khan last night.
Knockout.
In the 6th round, knocked his ass smooth out. ESPN won't even show the knockout. The nigga Amir Khan got hit and gave up everything in his body. Like, he fell. Like, he could have hurt his neck the way he fell. Like,
wow.
And if you saw the look in his eyes, I'm going to tell you how real it got.
He was just like, I don't want no more.
Let me tell you how real it got, Trey. The nigga Alvarez knocked him out, got on his knees, and started praying.
Oh, wow.
Like, he kneeled down in front of Amir Khan.
Like, I don't want no more.
Stop praying. Like the nigga thought he was about to get a charge for if Amir Khan didn't make it or some shit.
Oh, snap. Did the ref try to kind of...
No, he let him...
He let him go at it? Okay.
Because it was a clean shot.
Right.
He hit him pretty flush. He dropped pretty flush.
Right,
Amir Khan didn't have to, like... He hit him, he backed up, and I guess he saw the way he fell.
Right.
Or, like, he saw because if you saw the look in Khan's eyes, it was like...
Damn.
Yo, is this nigga dead? That's like, it looked like real life. like he got that work. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But shouts out to Canelo Alvarez. He immediately called out Triple G.
Right.
Golovkin, in the press conference, Golovkin tweeted like, he ready, whatever. But from what I'm hearing, it's seeming like it's so much more money that could be made on Alvarez fighting a few more people before he gets to Triple G.
Right.
So that's looking like that's what they're going to do. Is they're going to go ahead and let Alvarez make the money he can make, fighting some of these other characters before they get to Triple G.
Right. So to my understanding, it looked like this fight was in the hands of Amir Khan.
Amir Khan looked good. He looked good early on.
Okay.
But from what I saw, it looked like, he was doing his thing. Amir Khan has never really been known to have a great chin. When Alvarez started going to the body,
yep.
Yeah,
that was it.
It started like you could start seeing him Khan slow down, and then in the 6th he caught him.
Wow.
He caught him, man, and it was a good night. It was a good night.
Yeah, that's what's up. But, I kind of saw promotions really, really late for this fight. And, you know, obviously I'm not a pay-per-view guy.
Yeah.
I'm not one to go order the fight on pay-per-view or anything like that, but I knew that was one of the marquee fights, you know, coming up.
Shout out to all my niggas with that Amazon Fire Stick.
Yeah. Your boy, your boy kind of covered that fight a little bit, or no?
Who's that?
Your boy Trey.
Oh yeah. If you want in depth, go to rbrboxing.com. He in there.
Right, no doubt.
He in there.
No doubt. He went to Vegas, so you don't
No.
know?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he went to Vegas. I didn't talk to him, but I don't
say he doing big things if you're going to Vegas for stuff like that.
I don't think he went to Vegas, but
right.
yeah, but he had the coverage on it though.
All right, bet.
Yeah, so rbrboxing.com. You see, I always plug my niggas.
Yeah, check out that Instagram page too, at RBRBoxing too. He's got some good stuff on there. Some surprising NBA firings. I guess I'll start with the Pacers because they're just coming off of a playoff series against Toronto. I didn't know that Frank Vogel's contract was up, but I thought, oh, it's a no-brainer. You keep him.
You keep Frank Vogel, right?
Yeah,
I thought so too.
You keep Frank Vogel. You got Paul George back. He's healthy.
Yeah.
He's what he was before the injury.
Right.
You drafted Miles Turner. He's turned out to be a good kid, good basketball player. And you just kind of built from there. Well, Larry Bird just decided, you know what, I'm not going to, re-sign him, and, I'm just going to go a different direction. I don't know how I feel about this. I heard Larry Bird on his press conference talking about how you give a coach 3 years, and after 3 years, the players tune the coach out. Maybe that happens in certain situations,
yeah.
But for the most part, I don't know about 3 years, though.
Well, it depends. I don't think Frank Vogel, who won, I believe 250 games.
Right.
I don't think that's necessarily what how you...
Right, because Frank Vogel's been there, 6-7 years, right?
He done won way more than 250 games, you would think, right?
Yeah. He's won a lot there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taking him to the playoffs
several times.
Yeah. It's just that LeBron was in the way. I mean, what are you going to do? I disagree with Larry Bird's decision to go in a different direction. I also heard him talk about how he wanted to have a faster pace of basketball, a faster
I can agree
style.
with that. I can agree with that.
I could definitely agree with that. But to me, with the roster he had this past season, you would think that was a roster that could play fast-paced basketball.
But I don't think. But Frank Vogel has never coached a. They haven't.
Well, maybe
had,
that's it.
It's the scheme more so.
Maybe that's it. Okay.
Because they've never ran.
Sure,
never ran.
No,
when they were,
and maybe Bird thought, well, Vogel's probably not going to switch his style up, so maybe let me find a coach, i.e., Mike D'Antoni, dare I say, that could run a fast-paced style of offense. The first name that came to mind once this opening came up, Maestro, Mark Jackson. Larry Bird, I'm telling you, go get him. He's got ties to the organization because he played with them. Yeah. He's got ties to that city. He knows some of those players there. To me, it's a no-brainer. At least get an interview out of him.
At
least get an interview out of him.
Yeah, I think that'll happen. Happen.
I know Mark Jackson's fine what he's doing, commentating on the NBA and all that stuff. But
maybe they'll look at this next coach we about to talk about, the Grizzlies coach who
Dave Yeager. I was getting ready to struggle with his last name. I'm sure you were.
Yeah. Maybe they'll look at him. He just got fired from the Grizzlies, and what seems to be what I read, they fired him because he wanted more opportunities.
The coach?
Yeah.
What? Oh, he wanted to take over the front office and stuff?
Maybe. What came to my mind was, see, my criticism of the Grizzlies is they don't pick up nobody.
They don't pick up
nobody.
I get where you're going.
Yeah.
And I got a criticism similar to yours. You say they don't pick up nobody. I say they don't pick up nobody that can shoot the 3-ball. Yeah. That's been the Achilles heel.
I mean, they got all these great defensive players, and obviously they're coached well towards defense. Would it kill you to get somebody that could freaking score?
Like, my problem...
Like, they depending on freaking Zach Randolph.
Well, I don't mind that. I don't mind that part. And I remember when Ray Allen left the Heat, and there was speculation about where he would go, and I think Ray Allen ended up not playing for nobody that one year. It might have been a couple years ago. But I'm like, the Grizzlies, like, yo, Ray Allen's out there. He's the best three-point shooter in the history of the league. Go get him. I mean, I know he's 39 years old, but if that's all he can do for you is shoot, then you go get that guy. I don't understand it. They've been ranked the 30th, 29th, 28th. They've been ranking that low when it comes to three-point shooting about the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah. I felt like that kept them from winning a title. They legitimately, they were title contenders, particularly the year they went to the conference finals. And they got swept by the Spurs.
By the Spurs. I mean, I wouldn't say they was title contenders, but they definitely were a team that should have been better than what they were.
Yeah. So
I just hate their offense. I really don't like their offense. It's boring. It's slow. And like you said, I mean, you where you stick to more 3-point scoring, I really stick to scoring. Period. I mean, Zach Randolph? I'm sorry, he's a good player. Don't get Zach Randolph is not like a. I mean, when I think about Zach Randolph now in 2016, it's kind of like how Dirk Nowitzki, when Dirk Nowitzki was the man.
Right.
It was around the same time Zach Randolph was averaging 25, somewhere in that ballpark. And, at some point, you're still a good player, but you just kind of fizzle off because you ain't, you kind of doing the same thing. You ain't getting no better.
Right.
And he kind of just hasn't gotten better. And not that he was bad, but it's either you're going to go, it's like he reached his peak, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
He had reached his peak, and it was like, okay, well, now you're number one scorer, and I don't think there was ever a time Zach Randolph wasn't their number one scorer.
No. It'd be Gasol,
maybe
some years, Conley at best.
Yeah,
maybe
like,
a year or
not,
two.
Yeah, you're not fooling me with those two.
Yeah,
it was Zach Randolph.
Right.
And so now he's declining his point production, and now you're solely, depending on running good offensive sets and playing good defense.
Right.
That's not going to work. That's not
right.
going to work. So I was thinking maybe he wanted it out because nobody was really trying to give him an opportunity to coach a championship caliber team.
Sure. So it sounds like this is the Pacers' situation, kind of similar. It's like they want to run a more up-tempo
Well, no,
style
I think
offense.
Yeager wanted to.
Right.
And that management didn't want to.
And you know what's funny? When they first hired Yeager, and then he
didn't
realized, I got Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol, and that ain't going to
work.
work.
Right.
So
Zach Randolph, old ass, ain't running up and down no court.
Right.
And he was always a post guy.
Yeah.
He was always a post guy.
Crazy. You're listening to Trey and Maestro here on the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. I was just paying attention to the TV, Maestro. I saw Wanda Durant, a.k.a. Kevin Durant's mom, on TV. I guess they were talking about the movie. I think the name of the movie is The Real MVP.
Okay.
I think so. I just saw that up on the little billboard they had there, so just wanted to kind of point that out.
We'll let them know what it was about. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I don't watch Lifetime movies at all, but but again, shout out to her again. Let's get that money.
Yeah, she getting bread. So you know what? And speaking of that, one more thing. My wife told me yesterday. Also, she thinks that Miss Durant bought the house up in Upper Marlboro, or should I say Kevin Durant bought the house up in Upper Marlboro. So, something interesting. Maybe one of our good friends will kind of fill us in on that, kind of like he did about the whole, Kevin Durant coming to DC thing.
Yeah, and it's all speculation still, because then, it was, now the Spurs want their dibs into Kevin Durant.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw the article. I didn't click on it because I thought,
there's no way they're going to pull it off. Right?
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to pull that off.
I'm not even going to waste my time reading that stuff.
Well, unless they was willing to get rid of somebody. I mean, and,
You going to get rid of Kawhi Leonard?
Hell no. I don't think they would.
Yeah, or you want to move him to...
But actually, why not? Because, okay, Kawhi is definitely... I could see how that would work for the Thunder.
You mean in a trade now?
Yeah, right. I can see how that would work for the Thunder.
In a trade, yes, but in this situation, it would be you're getting him out of free agency, so there would be no
trade
involved.
Right.
So if the Spurs go after him, that means
Well,
are you going to put Kawhi at the 2 spot? You're not doing that.
No, Kevin Durant plays the 3.
Yeah, Kawhi plays the 3 also. So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
But why couldn't Kevin Durant could go to the 2? You don't think Kevin Durant could play the 2?
I think his style of basketball can fit the 2.
He could play the
sure.
2.
No, I get that, but I just don't see how the Spurs are going to cough up that much money when they just paid LaMarcus Aldridge.
Right.
You know, I mean, Tim Duncan is not getting paid that much, so it's not like you're going to have that much money come off the books, especially if let's say Ginobili, Parker, Duncan, let's say they just we're done. I'm retired.
Which is a possibility.
Very big possibility.
Yeah.
How much money realistically is that you can think you can?
Well, I don't know
Durant?
if Tony Parker made any pay cuts. I'm sure Ginobili at this point has.
Oh yeah, definitely
taken several pay cuts, and obviously Tim Duncan. I mean, I don't know, but if he goes to the Spurs,
yeah, domination.
I'm sitting here thinking
domination. It'll be Spurs and Warriors in the West Finals every year for 5 years, 6 years straight.
Right.
That's exactly what it would be, man.
Right. Another little bullshit side note. You know, last week we was talking about Space Jam and who we saw, kind of being.
Oh, yes.
J.R. Smith is apparently getting a role in Space Jam.
J.R. Smith?
J.R. Smith.
I kind of like that for J.R. I mean, he ain't old. I mean, he's still.
J.R.'s never. This is obviously LeBron James looking out for his homie. Let's just keep it a buck.
It could be.
It
could very well be.
This is J.R. Smith knowing LeBron James getting that look out. If he makes this movie, that shit is retarded. Unless he's he got to be right. A little side role, maybe he getting a little side role. You can. I'm not saying J.R. Smith ain't a good ball player, right. And I'm not. And even more to that, he's probably a good ball player as far as what He's an exciting player. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
he's an exciting player, so we could see. You know what I'm saying? Why isn't Kyrie Irving in this room a report before J.R. Smith? This is what my issue is.
Maybe because he got Chris Paul. It goes back to LeBron's buddies. And what did we say last week? We said Chris Paul. You said Chris Paul. Yeah. You said Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
Dwight. That's. I don't know if they're buddies, but they got a little bit of history. From years.
You
past.
said Carmelo
and Melo. Yeah, I said Melo. I thought so. This kind of goes back to this is LeBron looking out for, his buddies and getting people to join his clique, pretty much.
Shout out to Dez Bryant. Seems like he's making a good recovery from his surgery or whatever. So he's they say he's pretty close to a full return. So I don't know exactly what our perspective is as far as the Cowboys this season, but
they got to stay healthy.
Yeah,
if they want to make something happen this year. Tony Romo, they got to keep him upright. They better run the football 600 times this year.
Between Alfred Morris, Ezekiel Elliott, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, they still got Darren McFadden.
They got 3 running backs.
Lance Dunbar, as far as I know, is still there. They got 4 running backs, not necessarily that could carry the 3 down load.
I'd run the football 40 times a game, throw it 15 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna front. They'll probably keep it 50-50 balance. That's what they were a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Bryce Harper is the first. I'm going to see if I'm getting this stat right because it just came to my phone.
Right.
Becomes first player in the last 100 years to reach base 7 times without recording an at bat.
Makes sense. Say that one more time.
Bryce Harper becomes first player in the last 100 years to reach base 7 times without recording an at bat.
So did he get popped? Did the pitcher hit him or something? Does that count as an at bat? I'm trying to understand.
Forgive me because I'm not up on my baseball. I'm not up on my baseball.
Or does that mean maybe the pitcher balked, and then maybe it just
read what those initials are. You tell me what that means.
Yeah, 6
I'm
bases.
Looking at
6 bases on balls and 1 hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch, right.
So that's what I was saying. He probably got hit by a pitch. It probably was the first pitch at the at-bat, and so they walked him, and then the 6 bases on balls, like I said, it might be because the pitcher balked, and then it just sends a runner to first base or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I have no idea.
That's they don't want him to hit. Basically, is what I get from that.
Is Bryce Harper getting the Barry Bonds treatment now?
That's what I'm feeling.
Is that what that sounds like?
They don't want him to hit.
Oh,
they don't want him to hit. Y'all niggas know how Bryce Harper get down.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
He in a few years, man, he's gonna be. I don't know when he's a free agent. I think maybe a couple years from now. You know the Yankees are going to go hard after him. You know,
and that's against the Cubs.
Teams like the Dodgers are going to go after him.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So, speaking of the Yankees, man.
Nobody say shit about the Yankees, man. Speaking of the Yankees, nobody say shit about the motherfucking Yankees, man.
Oh, come on, man.
Fuck them niggas.
Listen, this might be the first time in my fandom of being a Yankee fan, 20-plus years, that this team is... I don't know what direction they're going at. They're 11-17. I know they just beat the Red Sox twice already in this series that's going on right now. Yeah, they're playing them again tonight. So that means they were 9-17 going into that series.
Mm-hmm.
Sabathia just went on the DL, surprisingly, for a groin. A-Rod just went to the DL last week, I think 15-day. And he was probably the most consistent batter in the lineup.
Right.
So you lose him, and then you don't have anybody in the farm system that you can call up to give the Yankees some help. I'm starting to wonder if the Yankees, dare I say, have to blow this thing up by the trade deadline, later this summer. I'm really starting to wonder.
Yeah, what's funny is it's not really much of a team to blow up at this point.
It's not because you got old players, you got these big contracts.
Yeah,
I mean Teixeira is making a boatload of money. He's 36, 37 years old. He's getting up there. A-Rod's got this massive contract that they've been trying to get rid of for the last 4 or 5 years. He's producing, but he just got hurt. So I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, if George Steinbrenner was alive today, this dude would make a big, big deal about it right now. He would threaten to trade you. He'd threaten to cut you. He'd do whatever he can to, wake this team up. Now, with the 2 sons that they got running the team, plus the GM, Brian Cashman, man, I don't know. I'm wondering... I'm kind of comparing this season to the Ravens season last year, where they made the playoffs and then surprisingly they end up 5-11. They suffer a bunch of injuries and now they have to try and reload the team. I'm wondering if the Yankees are in kind of that same boat where, okay, we kind of been treading water for the last, let's face it, about 3.5 years now, because they missed the playoffs 2013, 2014, made it last year, 2015, but got bounced out the first round. And now we're just starting to see, okay, now the levee is broke now.
Right.
I mean, I know it's May. I know it's early. There's plenty of baseball to get through, but you cannot go through a season. You cannot go through a season where when your pitching shows up, the lineup doesn't hit for you, and then when the offense get going, the bullpen stinks it up. You can't go through something like that. So I'm starting to wonder if it continues to get bad. And I know they're going to win this series against the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. If this continues to get bad as we move forward into May and June, going into the All-Star break, man, there's going to be some hell to pay. Right. I could tell you that, man. It's not looking good. I mean, I would hope, and I'm speaking very prematurely here. I would hope that come the end of the season, whether they finish 500, they make the playoffs, they miss the playoffs, whatever, that they can just find a way to get rid of some of these big contracts.
Yeah.
If they can do that, and then they can set themselves up for a big free agent next year, and then A lot of Yankee fans want. I'm gonna let you know, Maestro. A lot of Yankee fans want Bryce Harper when Bryce Harper becomes a free agent.
You can't have him.
They've been I'm telling you,
you can't have him.
I'm telling you, man. They want Bryce Harper, man.
Y'all motherfuckers can't have him.
There's a lot of talk.
He belong in D.C.
Well, I tell you what, the Learners who own the Nationals, they better pony up that money early.
You already know what we talking about.
They better.
You know what we talking about. You know how we get down.
Yeah.
We ready to sell DC for Bryce Harper.
I was gonna say y'all might have to sell more than that because the Yankees or any team that's got a big payroll. The Dodgers got a big payroll.
Right.
They might sell the farm. For Bryce Harper, especially if he continues to be this good,
right?
You know what I'm saying. But
where he hit getting on base 7 times,
you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
He getting the Barry Bonds treatment.
Swing the bat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But but what do you think about this Yankees situation?
They suck. They
do suck. They playing like they suck.
Normally it's me just me talking shit or whatever, but they suck and. Something got to be.
They're playing like they suck.
Yeah,
I mean,
something got to happen.
That's for sure. I mean, and the injuries don't help.
Yeah,
they do not help at all.
So you heard these rumors about Mayweather versus Conor McGregor.
I heard about that.
So
and McGregor backed out, didn't he?
Well, it was never really a real thing. Apparently, Conor McGregor wanted to fight Mayweather.
Right.
Like it was just the whole, Conor McGregor being who he is to the sport, and obviously Floyd Mayweather being who he is to the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And so he put out a tweet on yesterday, or actually this morning. It was a Photoshop of Conor McGregor, Mayweather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
don't you love the internet?
Yeah. earlier in some earlier interview, Floyd Mayweather even when they asked him about it, he was like, "It's possible." Like that's what Floyd Mayweather said.
Come out and get that 50th win.
Yeah, he ain't.
But see, no, forget that.
Yeah, because we talking about MMA,
right?
Where you could kick.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That. Yeah. McGregor, you cannot box.
but fucking Floyd Mayweather, the only thing that Floyd Mayweather does that's essential to MMA is hold. This motherfucker can't throw no jumping knee or no kick. I don't know. Can this nigga
for
kick?
either side. McGregor can box. Mayweather cannot throw a kick.
Yeah, but one thing I would think, and I'm not 100% sure, but you would think that if you can defend yourself as well as Mayweather can in boxing, some of that should translate to MMA. It's just a matter of what arena you want to see him in.
And really, I'm not sure he has to do that much defending because I got to see McGregor's skills in terms of getting your dukes up and
fight. I mean, they punch. They throw punches in MMA.
I don't know.
My issue is that there's way. I respect boxing because there's more of a, to me. There's more of a technique. There's more of an art to
boxing.
To that.
Yep.
But in MMA's defense, you got a whole lot more at disposal when you can grab somebody and knee them in their face.
Yep.
Floyd Mayweather don't got no knockout power.
Nope. We've seen that.
Yeah. So it's like it's interesting in that sense, but I just don't want to see. Is Conor McGregor going to come into the boxing world, or is Floyd Mayweather going to go to the MMA world?
Or should they just go out in the street, no gloves, nothing?
But that's MMA.
Yeah,
that's MMA.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's
well. Then it makes you think more that maybe Mayweather can go into the MMA side of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure. I know this: he don't have no punching power.
He don't got punching power.
I don't
know about his ability to lift a leg to kick.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But he's good at defense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know
he'll
McGregor,
run around a little bit.
Yeah. See, it's too many questions, and I guess that's what the intrigue would be because there's so many questions.
Yep.
But I don't care to see MMA fighter fight a boxer. I just don't think it would be fair
Yeah, as good as the bulletin boards look,
Yeah.
and even the one you just showed me there, I love the internet because they make this stuff up look so genuine and make it look so...
Like, if you didn't know no
box
better, you would
office.
really think that was about to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, it looks so box office, but I just don't see how that's going to play out in terms of those two physically actually getting together and trying to pull this off. I just don't see it at all, man. Speaking of fights, I love seeing this clip of a 1996 NBA preseason game. This kind of ties into a topic we're going to get into. Your boy Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley. So basically, after the Cavs-Hawks game, we'll dive into that series a little bit. We just watched them get swept before we got on here. But it was after Game 2, and Charles Barkley does his little post-game show, whatever, on TNT. And he basically kind of said something that I think all fans were kind of thinking at the moment. The Cavs had a record-setting night. They shot, 25 three-pointers in a game. I think that's an NBA playoff game record. And the Hawks just basically, there was no way for them to get back in the game. I think they lost that game by like 30 or 40. Charles Barkley comes out and says, look, if you're getting beat up like that, you got to inflict some pain on somebody. He basically said, you got to take somebody out. That was his words. Now, me watching it say that, I knew exactly what he meant, so I didn't really take him word for word. You know, Shaq comes in and is like, hey, you can't say that on national TV. And then Barkley says, well, hold on, let me finish. He says, look, you got to inflict some pain on somebody. You got to let them know that, look, we just not going to let you pop threes in our face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing I'm thinking. And next thing you know, and it's funny because I think Charles Oakley sent that tweet out as they were doing their little post-game show.
Uh-huh.
And Oakley says, look, don't get on Cleveland, whatever. Why you hiding behind TNT? Like, he was never tough, pretty much. So basically kind of testing
Call
his
him
toughness.
a suck-ass nigga.
Yeah, so Barkley, I think he responded on the show and was like, look, I don't like him, he don't like me, whatever, but, I said what I say, I'm sticking to what I said. So they showed the little 1996 preseason game.
Did they really show it?
They did. They did. It was between the Rockets and the Knicks. Oakley playing for the Knicks, obviously. Barkley when he was with the Rockets. Yeah. And, man, they was going at it, man. They was swinging fists and all that good stuff. And I found out that was not the only time they actually fought. I think they fought like in the early 90s in a game also. Mm-hmm. I think when Barkley was with the Suns, Okay. Yeah. So those two brothers got a history of not liking each other. So this tweet, you could kind of tell got some little animosity.
You bitch nigga, you're not tough. Like, right.
So I don't know if Oakley is a Cleveland Cavs fan. I know he's from the city of Cleveland. So maybe that had a little bit to do with, why he sent the tweet. Maybe next to the fact that he doesn't like Barkley.
Maybe.
But that's kind of interesting, though.
Well, he had a lot to say. He had a lot to say about the Raptors as well in recent history.
Right.
He called out DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, said them boys don't have it. They shooting too many shots.
Right.
So they taking too many shots, and if you don't got it, and if you're not hitting, if you're not scoring,
right,
then you need to be doing something else, like playing better defense. Like he straight out
play better defense, get some rebounds,
and he obviously had a point, particularly when he mentioned it, because they were shooting like 30%.
They've been averaging 30% shooting, basically from the Indiana series into this one,
into the Heat series.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think I kind of disagree with him in a sense that they're not doing anything else, because I see Lowry trying to do some other things. I see DeRozan trying to do other stuff.
Kyle Lowry I think he's averaging like 7.6 assists.
Yeah, something like that.
And that's if I'm not mistaken, that's down from the regular season.
It's down. Yeah, it's about 10 percentage points down from what they were doing. So. amazing that, they're still in this postseason. They're up 2-1 on the Heat, which, we'll talk about that in a little bit. By the way, you're listening to Trey and Maestro on the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. They're up 2-1 against the Heat, so, we'll kind of see what happens there. This Penn State stuff, this stuff keeps resurfacing, and it did last week, and one of the things that they talked about was how back in the 1970s, and this just lets you know how much of a legacy that Joe Paterno had with this program.
Right.
Going back to the 1970s, there was a report that came out, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, saying that one of the Jerry Sandusky victims back in 1971, as a boy, said that he was raped by Jerry Sandusky, who was an assistant at Penn State. Mm-hmm. And then he also says that Joe Paterno had spoke to him on the phone and had urged him to drop the accusations off of Jerry Sandusky. So now, I felt like we kind of knew that already. I mean, when this story was like hot and it had, all the press and everything like that. But I felt like we kind of knew that already, or we just kind of assuming, okay, maybe this kind of goes back beyond what happened 5-6 years ago. Maybe this extends, decades ago. So I guess my thing is that, and look, for the record, what happened at Penn State is the most devastating, most sickening act that anybody can do is molest boys, molest girls, any type of sexual assault, molestation against, pedophiles. It's sickening. Yeah, it's gruesome. But I'm gonna think about this from an economic perspective, and I know these colleges that make all this money, they have these football programs, a lot of recruiting. They travel all over the country. They recruit kids out of high school. And, the more you win, the more value the university has on the landscape of college athletics.
Right.
Paterno, obviously, and if this is true, of what happened back in 1971, if this is true, then Paterno was trying to protect the mystique of Penn State from a financial and an economical standpoint, because obviously it's not just the recruiters, the coaches, the assistants, it's stores around the university, it's companies that open up businesses outside the campus, it's all that stuff. I'm just wondering if Paterno did say something, like let's say he was like, you know what, I gotta end this. I gotta put this guy to justice. Whatever. Yeah. Sure, the university is going to take a hit short term. Yeah. I'm thinking short term. I'm not thinking no.
Yeah, and particularly with them having more of a winning culture, you would think if he kind of put an end to the whole situation as soon as he knew about it, assuming he knew about it, God bless the dead. Right. He would, right now, or at least back then when it all hit the fan, we wouldn't have been talking about it. Jerry Sandusky obviously wouldn't have been working for the school, and pending somebody else was a creep. We wouldn't be talking about it anymore. I mean, I'll tell you this, and with Wild, and again, God bless the dead, I can't excuse Paterno's actions if he emphatically knew about it, which we all kind of think he did know at least something.
We knew something. And maybe he just was like, look, y'all do what y'all do. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. And, and maybe somebody tried to bring it to his attention.
And that happens in colleges all the time. I mean, a few months ago, we just got finished talking about Louisville. Yep. It's just these people that get caught. And again, I'm not excusing the behavior. I'm more so saying that evil shit happen all the time, and it's about if it's about the school and the program, you can't let this shit get out. You can't let it get out. Now,
Right.
obviously, the better response is, hey, stop molesting little boys.
Right.
You know, Sandusky doing time for what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I hate that it's been 40 years since, 40 years of him possibly molesting kids.
And this affects kids from a mental standpoint also.
Yeah, so I mean, let's be if he legitimately was doing this for 40 years, think of the years and years of lives he's affected from this sick shit.
Exactly.
So I'm not. So anything that I'm about to say is not. I'm not excusing his behavior. I'm more so saying that bad shit like this. It's not just it wasn't just happening in Penn State, is what I'm saying.
Right.
It wasn't just happening in Penn State.
I get it.
And
I get it.
So.
But what I'm trying to figure out is because we saw the short-term and the potential long-term effects of it coming out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We saw what happened. They got banned from a couple bowl games, I think the first few years.
Right.
And I'm not even sure what their enrollment is, but I'm sure that took a hit because parents looked at it and was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't want my kid molested here. What y'all running here?
Right.
So I'm sure that took a hit. I'm just trying to figure out, was it worth them holding out this long to suffer this much consequence, or would it have been more worth it if they had just came out and just said, hey, we can't continue to have this going on. We got to get this guy out of this program, even if we got to take a couple years of hits.
Yeah.
Maybe short term we'll suffer, but in the long run...
Well, I would think that he was kind of hoping that when this first surfaced, if it was in the 70s or whenever, maybe we could brush this under the rug and he would grow out of molesting little boys. I mean, because for him,
and I gotta remember it's the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, because and again, I'm gonna keep saying God bless the dead because I don't want to. He's gone. He can't defend himself.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna keep saying that because you would have to think that he was close with this cat Sandusky,
right?
Because somebody was protecting him.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No
so
doubt.
I think if he had known that this was going to go on for 40 years, possibly, hindsight is 20/20. I mean, but I think my criticism is, all right, it pop up once in the 70s. If it pop up once in 75, pop up again in 75, then pop up again in 78, then pop up again in 81.
Yep.
This is just me throwing random years out there, by the
Sure,
way.
yep.
At some point, you don't let it get all the way to 2010.
I would think so too.
So
I would think so. And maybe there was a 10 to 15 year period where it did quiet down, and then as these boys got older in their 30s and 40s, they decided, you know what?
I need to talk about how
we need to talk about this. Man. And then all of a sudden the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And, Joe Pa passed.
Same thing that happened with Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The floodgates open after that, man.
End of the day, stop. Child molestation is not cool, y'all. I don't know if we're possibly talking to a child molester in these airwaves. Don't molest children, man. Don't sexually assault women. Hell, don't sexually assault men. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, man.
Yeah, that's...
Can we get into some playoffs, man?
Yeah, man. Let's do it, man. You want to go into what we just witnessed here?
Well, we just witnessed, and before we get into this game 4, the Cavaliers sweep the Atlanta Hawks. I want to give a special shout out to your boy Kevin Love Ankles.
Oh yes,
who were sacrificed in these playoffs by of all people.
The former Kardashian.
Of all people, Chris Humphries.
Yo,
man.
My boy, that dude just... The ankles just went bye-bye after that, man.
Yeah. So, It's ugly because the crossover was slow and ugly.
Yeah.
The fall was slow and ugly. It was,
and the way Kevin Love fell, it was just
it was just, oh God, like why?
It's like, what are you singing an R&B song or something? Like the way he fell, it's like he was singing an R&B song.
Man, like Tyrese in that one video.
Yeah, like he just slid to his knees and
Shout out to Kevin Love's ankles. Probably the only thing he's done wrong in this series as the Cavaliers sweep the Atlanta Hawks.
We talked about the record-setting game 2, 25 three-pointers in a playoff game.
Followed up the next game with over 20 3-pointers in that game 3.
Yes.
And then in the game 4. Game 4, I called the fourth quarter. I think we both called the fourth quarter.
We both called it a sweep.
Yeah, and but we called the end of this game, both of us at the same time.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw any of it before you got in.
I did. I saw some of it before I came here. I noticed it was a tight game. It was about 83-82 Cavs in the middle of the fourth quarter. And then by the time I got up here and we're watching the TV and it's Hawks up by 1. And
I was at a family barbecue. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and so LeBron does what he does, Kyrie does what he does, and they take a 1-point lead. And I think the most stupidest decision that the Hawks made at the end of this game.
Because the Hawks did score before you got to the stupid shit.
They
Hawks
did.
Scored.
They did. They scored. Man, I got to tell you. I can't remember if that was a 3-point deficit or a 2-point I think it was a 2-point deficit.
I think it was a 2-point deficit.
Okay, so 30 seconds in the game, the Hawks give up a possession. The Cavs are coming down the court with the ball, 30 seconds left. No timeouts for the Hawks. In my head, I'm like, okay, now you got to play the foul game. The Hawks decide, hey, we done anyway. Let's just play the clock out. And your boy, a.k.a. Scottie Pippen, LeBron James.
Scottie.
LeBron Pippen, he comes out to the top of the key. And not
even the top of the key.
Yeah, not even to the top of the key. He was about 5 foot back.
He was trying to Steph Curry. Thought he was Steph Curry for a minute.
He was trying to shoot a 30-footer, and it bounced off, and they hold on, they win the game. But my frustration with the Hawks is you've been beat on the offensive glass this entire series.
The entire time you've been ever been playing the Cleveland Cavaliers since LeBron been in Cleveland. Right.
So to think that you're going to get a rebound in that situation was not the greatest thought to have. Yeah. To me, you got to start playing the foul game. I mean, and you also...
And we was all right, foul him.
Yep.
Foul him.
We was like, okay, you got to foul, and the clock's going down, and I'm like, okay, these guys on vacation already. Somebody's thinking about going to the West Indies already. They're done. Yeah. I mean, that to me was just as frustrating as a sequence as I've ever saw in the final minute of the game.
But shout out to LeBron James, who decided, I don't want y'all to go to the West Indies yet. I want to keep playing basketball. I want to keep on playing basketball.
Yeah, hang around.
He shoots this 3-pointer, and I guess if you make it, that's the dagger.
Right. It's definitely the dagger.
It's definitely the dagger, but wouldn't it have been a whole lot more better, smarter, if you'd have just dribbled the ball and once you was down to 5 seconds, drive, because you're LeBron James, arguably the second best player in the NBA. You're going to get the call and have to shoot free throws, but instead going to the free throw line and shooting the free throws, you decide that I'm going to go ahead and shoot a 3 because I'd rather miss a 3-pointer than miss 2 free throws. This is why you remain to be, in my book, LeBron Pippen. Because the stars...
They go to the rack.
Point blank period. Especially when you 6'8", 260 pounds. Why are you shooting a jumper like you behind or something?
Scared, man.
Like you ain't got no time left or something. When they got the ball, they was like 30 seconds on the clock when they started that possession.
Yes, it was 30 seconds on the clock. So you knew, hey, they dribble it down to about 5 seconds. There will be some time left for the Hawks
to still do what they got to
steal a game here. Yeah.
And
stupid on the Hawks' part.
Stupid on the Hawks. Stupid on LeBron. Luckily enough, they got the ball. They drive. They missed the shot. Right. You know, whatever, they sweep. But LeBron James 21. Kyrie another 21.
Kevin Love
27.
Doing what he's doing.
So they
were up by only 3 points.
Yeah, but the point is, I mean, because like LeBron said in the post conference, and thank you for acknowledging that was a dumbass shot because it really was a dumb shot.
Right.
But they were desperate. The Hawks were desperate.
Absolutely.
They were definitely in a situation. Yep. You know, they
desperate
lost.
But stupid at the same time.
Well, I'm just. That was probably the tightest game they played the entire series.
Yeah, it was.
And
it was.
It was because they were desperate.
Game
you know what
2
I'm saying?
blowout. Game 3. Now in Game 3, did you like the little elbow T gave LeBron at the end there?
Yeah, I mean you gotta let these niggas.
You gotta
know.
take some. Yeah,
you gotta let these niggas
inflict
know.
some pain,
yeah,
like Barkley said.
But he gotta. But you know, I ain't even gonna get into Teague right now. But you know,
right.
But you gotta. Do something.
Yeah.
Fight back. Fight back.
Right,
man.
right. Yeah.
They didn't fight back.
Nah, not at all, man.
They didn't fight back, man.
The Atlanta Hawks, man. Listen, you get beat 11 times in a row by this team. I'm talking going back to last year's playoffs, regular season, 3 games, and this 4-game sweep just now.
Yeah.
If I'm Danny Ferry, I gotta blow this thing up, man. Because
that coach got. I'm sorry, bro. The coach got to go.
Budenholzer?
He got to go. He
I
got to
don't know.
go.
I don't know, man.
They play slow basketball, and see, here's the thing. Players are cognizant of what was going on. Mm-hmm. The coach didn't tell them to foul, and even if they didn't,
that's true.
And
this
even
true.
Even if they coach told them not to foul.
This is true.
Because I'm thinking a player's instinct would have been to play the foul game.
Play the foul game.
I'm not at all an NBA player.
Right.
First instinct, play the foul game.
Now, a star would have been like, Coach, damn all that. I'm a foul here.
Yeah. He got to go. He got to go, bro. Because at what point, how long did it take you to... They didn't foul.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't foul.
They showed no signs of doing it.
They took LeBron James. It took LeBron James being stupid, for them to get to
at least get that last possession,
opportunity to win the game.
Yep.
He got to go because that's poor. That's poor time management. That's poor clock management.
Sure.
Poor,
no, I understand.
Poor
that.
decision making. He got to go.
I don't know if I'm ready to pull the plug on the coach just yet. I would say this.
They play slow basketball.
I would say this. After they got swept last year, I kept saying, let's see what the Hawks do to reinforce their team so they could get back to the same situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got Tiago Splitter. I'm like, Tiago Splitter? That was the best you can do as far as getting a big man? Because to me, and you can say what you want about...
He's been injured.
Yeah, he's been injured the entire season, but you can say what you want about having the star, but... When you get beat, and I'm going to keep pounding this point, you cannot get beat on the offensive glass that many times. Because you know what that does? You keep giving the other team extra possessions, and you keep giving them second chance points.
Right.
Those second chance points add up in the game.
Tristan Thompson earned his contract last year.
Yes, he did.
Against the Atlanta Hawks.
Exactly. And he probably earned the bonus off this series because he was doing what he did last year.
Yeah.
And the Atlanta Hawks in the offseason did nothing to... Well, I want to say they did nothing. They just didn't make the right decision to offset that.
And then they got rid of Carroll.
Damari Carroll.
Yeah, like, he was an up-and-coming guy. I mean, I don't know if he would have turned into a star, per se.
Right.
But he was an up-and-coming guy who, showed some promise. And I just don't really...
So, in my eyes... Horford's a free agent. I think you let him walk. I mean, even though he's been the long guy that's been there the longest, basically since they started getting back in the playoff run a few years ago.
Right.
I think it's time to just let him go. Teague, I think he's under contract, but at this point, man, I trade him. Because to me, I think Teague and Schroeder are the same guy. Yeah, if he asks me.
I agree.
If he asks me.
And for real, Schroeder, a little younger. maybe a little bit more sense of urgency.
Right.
Because he's younger. You don't really got the ins and outs of the game
a little erratic, but I think you can coach that down a little bit.
Right.
But Teague, I think you could trade him someplace, man, because, again, if you get back to this same spot again, what you going to do? You going to get swept again?
Yeah.
You got to... I see some big changes coming this offseason.
You got to get a star, man.
Yeah.
I don't know who's there, who's available.
They ain't getting Kevin Durant. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think he's going to Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. But that amazes me that Atlanta has not been like a spot for players to go to, like big time players.
Ticket sales aren't good in Atlanta. Like the basketball fandom in Atlanta is not really that good, to my understanding. So I think that's got a lot to do with it.
I get it that you have a lot of transplants from up north, Midwest that move to Atlanta. So when you go to Hawks games, you're gonna see 50% Hawks fans. You're gonna be 50% the other team.
Other team.
I've seen that. I actually went to a Knicks game a few years ago with my mother, and it was just a bunch of Knicks fans at Phillips Arena.
Wow.
It was almost as if he was at the Garden.
But that might be why they can't get a star too, man. Because nobody want to. But if they can just land one, I mean, if they could land somebody like a LaMarcus Aldridge, that kind of star,
right?
That might help. They just got to get somebody that can go there and give you something,
right?
But it ain't working for them right now, man. It definitely ain't working for them. The Cavaliers await the winner of the Toronto Raptors. Miami Heat series. As of right now, it's looking.
That's looking like a series right now. Even though we both predicted that it would be.
Yeah, Raptors up 2-1 right now, and I'ma just say, man, what immediately came to my attention as I watched some of the highlights from this game.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3, right? As they beat the Heat 95-91 in Miami,
right?
Kyle Lowry put on the kind of performance that I was expecting from Kemba Walker in that last series.
Yep, in that game 6.
Game 6, I'm sorry.
Yep.
33 points. And I think Wade put up 33 as well.
38.
38, okay.
Yep.
But all was, and obviously the big shots was in your head.
Yep.
It was the ultimate sit your old ass down moment that Kemba Walker, I felt, should have done to Dwayne Wade.
That's part of why Kyle Lowry was an all-star this year.
And Kyle Lowry did it. Like, he, in the corner, sit your old ass down.
Yep.
And
he popped the 3, and then he came back down the court. He hit a big 2 to, I think, extend the lead there. The biggest story to me is the 2 centers going down in this game.
Yeah.
Whiteside's got a sprained MCL. That's a day-to-day situation. Valanciunas for the Raptors sprained his knee, and he's not going to return in the series.
Right.
I think that's a big, big blow for Toronto.
Yeah, because he had been playing. He's been playing well this playoffs.
You could say that he's probably the most underrated player in the playoffs. He's been the most consistent Raptor, if you ask me.
All day.
Yeah, easily, I mean, even with the 2 stars shooting under 30%,
they've been consistently bad, but I mean, that's some positive consistency.
Oh yeah. Because once he went down, the Heat went on like this 38-13 run.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like, oh, dude, like y'all inside post presence is gone,
right? And nothing. I think we both had the Heat in 7, and I think nothing
we both
really
had the Heat in 7.
Yeah, and nothing changes because
now if Whiteside was gonna miss some time and Valanciunas came back, I would have swung that pendulum to Toronto.
Really? Whiteside is that big of a difference.
I would have swung
but just with the fact that Whiteside could come back and Valanciunas is done. I mean, but even with let's say if both of them were out, let's say Whiteside doesn't play anymore, stay the same. Heat in 7.
Man.
Whiteside is a big.
I would still say Heat in 7, but
it'd be tough, right? Because Whiteside means a lot more to the Heat than Valanciunas does to the Raptors.
Whiteside can give you the rim protection,
and
he can also give you the offensive rebounding as well as the scoring. You lose that, who else on the Heat? you gonna? I mean, who else on the? I mean, Udonis Haslem. You trying to tell me he's gonna be what?
I didn't know
Whiteside's
Udonis.
gonna
I didn't even realize he still played basketball. Udonis
yeah.
Haslem.
Oh, he was buried in the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I think? Because I know he's a Miami native, but I mean, going back to when Wade won his first championship, I think he's been with the Heat all this time. So
shout out to Udonis Haslem. Back in the days, I remember back in the days when he got married. That Bama came out to America's two of America's Most Wanted by Tupac and Snoop Dogg at his wedding.
Oh yeah.
So instead of the wedding song, he came out
None
Tupac
but
and
against
Snoop.
the party.
Yeah. So
No
shout
doubt.
out to Udonis Haslem, washed ass. On the West Coast, last night,
Good game last night.
great game. The Blazers beat the Golden State Warriors 120 to 108. This is what I saw happening. This is exactly
You
what I
saw
happen.
Damian
This is
Lillard
we were
getting
going to
the
win them
game.
to one game. But give me an opportunity. Lillard had a great game. Scored 40.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shout out Aminu real quick.
Yeah, he was beasting.
Aminu, who, for as far as I knew before coming to the Blazers, I think this is his first year at the Blazers, but he had played for Dallas the year before and a few other teams, and for all intents and purposes was a bum up until this moment. I mean, it seems like when he came to Portland, he all of a sudden developed a three-pointer, because I'm hearing that this isn't the first kind of showing of him. He scored 30 in the last series,
Right.
Against the who they played last series? Clippers. He scored 30 in like game 4 or something like that against them last.
Right.
And then he came this game. He scored like 21, I think. Last night. He's been efficient in the three ball.
Okay.
It seems like since he's been in Portland, to what I'm understanding. So shout out to him. Draymond Green and again, they're not going to win another game in my personal opinion. Draymond Green is pissed. He already came out. We played bad defense and it won't happen again. That was his statement. I
don't know, man.
The game losing.
I
I
don't
don't think
know.
they're going to lose another game.
I've been I don't know. I've been down on the Trailblazers this entire playoffs.
Yeah.
I thought they'd get swept by the Clippers until the injuries to Chris Paul and Blake happened, and then they take care of business.
CJ McCollum had an ugly game, even though he did eventually get 20.
Right.
But
right.
He had an ugly game as well.
I don't know, man. I mean, we talk about the Warriors arena being one of the loudest in the NBA. Portland's got a pretty good
and this is my
advantage.
first time watching a game in Portland.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, man.
that atmosphere was good.
I think they can tie the series up. And that's all I'm going to give them.
Yeah.
They could tie it up, and then Golden State wins Game 5, and they can close it out Game 6.
Right.
I think that this Portland team has nothing to lose at this point. Right now, it's just, look, we just playing ball. We ain't supposed to be here. A lot of people told us we not supposed to be here, but we here, so we just going to do what we
Show
do.
out, right.
We got no expectations. Nobody's picking us to win the title. Let's scare them. I mean, that's really all they're doing is just putting a scare to them. So, with that being said, you know what we got to ask. You know where we got to go.
Yeah.
Steph Curry. Do you now feel threatened to put Steph Curry back on the court?
Nope. Because, and this is why. It's just like you said. Right now, we're talking about with Steph Curry out. With him out, we're still talking about them winning and at most 6.
Right.
Steph Curry got to be right for the Thunder or the Spurs.
Sure.
Point blank.
Yep.
Period.
No.
He's got to be right. If you know,
So if this series gets tied,
if it goes to 7, if it gets to 7 games,
right,
that's when it's like, all right, we
Sure.
we might need you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But if it
gets tied and you know there's a guaranteed 6-game looming in the series.
See, I'm not mad at them having to play Game 6. That's cool. They don't need them to play Game 6. Win or lose Game 5. I feel like they could still, because Game 6 is still at home as well.
Right
Now,
and don't forget, in Game 2, the Blazers was up big in that one, and they just collapsed at the end.
And I mean, and truth be told, when you look at this game, it was really about. I mean, it was terrible defense. By the way, it was. Damian Lillard
Sure.
looks. Damian
and the
Lillard
shots
looked
for
like
Portland fell too.
Yeah, Damian
you gotta
Lillard
admit.
looked like Steph Curry that last night.
Yeah,
he
he
looked
did.
like Steph
He
Curry
really
last
did.
night.
Yeah.
So Damian Lillard is good. He's not quite Steph Curry. He was doing his best impression of Steph Curry last night. I don't think that's going to be enough though. I just Mason Plumlee can't really deal. I mean, Andrew Bogut got in early foul trouble.
Right.
Like a lot of things happened on Golden State. Sean Livingston was off.
He was
off.
He wasn't himself.
Yeah. It just wasn't a.
And if it really forced Draymond Green to score 30-something points.
Yeah,
that's not what he does.
He was shooting three. He was competing.
He
in a
was Steph
three-point
Curry. He was trying to be Steph.
He was in a 3-point contest with Damian Lillard.
Yeah. That ain't his game.
Yeah, he'll get 3 or 4 three.
As much as they were trying so hard to not get blown out in this game,
I mean, I wouldn't call them.
They got outplayed in this game.
They definitely were outplayed.
The score might not indicate that, but
no. I think the score.
12 point.
I think that's pretty accurate of what happened. I mean, because there was. Warriors came out, did their thing early.
Right.
Klay Thompson looked unstoppable in the first quarter. He had like 18 again in the first quarter again.
Right.
And then what he finished for? He finished for like 34 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So he was. They was still. It looked. I mean, when you looked at the game, even though they weren't shooting that well,
right.
It was. Well, I'll take it back. They weren't shooting. They were shooting okay. It was because when it was halftime. Warriors still had a better shooting percentage than the Blazers.
Right.
It's just sort of it was just the Warriors.
The Blazers shots was
the
falling.
Blazers got hot.
Yeah.
They just got real hot, and I think that was more.
Got crazy
it was
hot.
more. That was more of what happened as opposed to Golden State. Golden State played a decent game offensively. Mm-hmm. They played a decent game offensively.
They did.
It was just more about everything was falling. I mean, and then they weren't there. That's
right.
That defense wasn't
right.
That wasn't great defense.
You're listening to Trey and Maestro with the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. So you still got Warriors in 5.
I still got the Warriors in 5. Without Steph Curry.
Yeah, I know I had a sweep, but seeing what I saw last night, I think the Blazers can win Game 4, and then I think it'll just go 6 at that point. Mm-hmm. Spurs and Thunder.
Play tonight.
Yep. This is Game 4. This is a must-win for the Thunder, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Close game, Game 3. Kawhi Leonard was a beast, as he normally is. LaMarcus Aldridge, man, I got to shout him out, man. That 15-foot jumper, no matter how many ways you can defend that jumper of his, he's gonna knock it down, man.
Yeah,
it just amazes me whether he's fading away, whether he's just flat-footed or what. Man, he's got the best 15-footer left in the playoffs.
Seems
in
like
my
it.
opinion.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I think the Thunder know that they're under pressure tonight.
Yeah,
they're gonna win tonight. I think.
Yeah,
and
I totally agree.
I still think this is going 7. Because
yeah.
I still think the Spurs, in certain moments, will have their lapses offensively. And when you got 2 of the top 5 players on your team, you could take real good advantage of that.
Yeah, it's time for them to go ahead and stop playing. And I think I don't think they're gonna have a problem at all going in.
Right.
They're going in.
I don't think so either.
They're going in. They're going in tonight. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a shutout. I mean, a beatdown. I mean, I don't think it's going to be
not a beatdown.
But it'll be convincing. You'll know.
I think they'll get comfortable in the fourth quarter. Like, I think it'll get close for the first 3 quarters, and then I think the Thunder
they'll kind of pull away like a 15 point.
Oh yeah. Russell Westbrook he's chomping at the bit to get back out there.
Yeah, he scored 31 last game, along with Kevin Durant scoring 26. But you know, Aldridge had scored like 24, and Kawhi scored in 31 or something. Like, so that they definitely.
And Tony Parker had a good game too.
Yeah,
he had. I mean, for what he normally does, he had a pretty good game. So obviously, the coaching, to me, Pop's always got the edge in my eyes, and he's clearly got it here.
Yeah.
I mean, you playing a rookie coach in Billy Donovan, who's not a bad coach. It's just that
he got a good team.
You got a good team, and you in the playoffs for the first time in your NBA career.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen some plays where it's like, okay, coach, that's a coach call. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't, miss out on those things because Pop's gonna get you. If you miss one call, Pop is gonna figure it out and he's gonna make you pay for it. So you got this series still going.
I got it going 7.
You still got the Thunder in the
finals.
finals.
The Thunder going to the finals, Slim.
Wow.
Quick NFL news. Cameron Wake got an extension to 2017. $10 million guaranteed, but he can make a max of 17.8 over the next 2 years.
With the Dolphins?
With the Dolphins, yep. Yep, so he got his extension. Obviously that has a lot to do with Olivier Vernon going to the Giants. So you need to make sure you just need to make sure you keeping somebody.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. For the Dolphins, I would love for them to find a leader on that defense because I still don't think they have a leader.
Yeah,
not even on the defense. I'm talking about just that entire team.
Yeah, right.
They need to find somebody that can galvanize that locker room.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, the coaching sucks.
Who they hire? Adam Gase, right?
Adam Gase, yeah. I don't think he's going to come in and change anything. Because the office is rotten. The front office is rotten.
Yep.
A coach is not going to come in and change.
And the owner's looking for that, that splash. He's always looking for, splash over, value at times.
Yeah. You heard Odell Beckham's cousin is trying out for the Jets. Teron Beckham.
I've seen some videos where he's doing exercises and he's lifting weights and he's trying out for something. Mm-hmm. He's trying out for the Giants.
The Jets, actually. He's a 230-pound running back.
Oh, okay. So did he go undrafted?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What school did he go to?
I was trying to sift through it real quick. It didn't say exactly.
I don't want to say he should get drafted because he's cousins with Odell Beckham Jr., but
no.
That kind of surprises me that he would go undrafted in a draft that really was not that much a big deal to begin with.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to see what school he went to. I'm not finding it fast enough. But anyway, shouts out to Teron Beckham. Hope you get an opportunity.
All right.
More power to you.
All right, folks. That's it for the show today. Don't forget, you guys can hit us up on the Facebook page. Hit us up on the Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Maestro's on the Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And the email address is barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. I'm Trey Fraser. He's Maestro Styles. We'll talk at you next week. We'll talk more about the NBA playoffs and other little sports news and other little nuggets. So, holla at you guys. Peace.